Hi everyone, MadChemist Online. I have a pretty strange relationship with Bungie. To be specific, I didn't heard of them at all. I knew they made Halo and Destiny, but what is so important about them outside of the fact that Halo was the first popular console shooter and Destiny was a looter shooter that was created from the devs of Halo? Probably because I was a Sony guy all this time. That's why I don't understand to this day why Sony spent $3.6 billion on this company. I understand game as a service thing. You make a game and that game generates revenue while you keep the servers online, create more skins to sell, and occasionally do big updates. But by Bungie to do that specifically, if they at that time have a problem with supporting Destiny 2,
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
you may think I hate Bungie. I don't. To be honest, I don't care. They're just another studio who made another cult following game in the past, but if you look at the people who work there right now, you will understand that most of them are adapted into the corporate culture of the industry like Chris Madsen, or left the studio altogether like the director of Bungie, Harold Ryan, who decided to leave Bungie and create his own gaming company called Probably Monsters. And before you ask me what game they're creating before they inevitably shut him down, I here to disappoint you. They are not creating games. They are creating AAA game studios that will later sell to someone for cash. Unlucky for them, their first sole studio was Firewall Games. And if you don't know, they're the people that created. We all know about this game, and we all know that everybody loses from this game. Sony, who closed the studio after failure, probably Monsters, who lost a lot of reputation after that game, but Bungie, who greenlit that project, suffers most out of them all. You see, after buyout, Bungie was independent. They could do whatever they want. They judged Sony's other service games and decided is it worth to continue them, like in case of The Last of Us live service game. And all of that came to an end after Concord because Sony, after a disaster like that, justifiably decided to take more control over Bungie. And that's not me being biased against them. In my amateur opinion, Bungie buyout was a scam. They just milk money out of Sony first time with Bungie buyout, second time with Firewalk. So, in my opinion, this is not just a game. This is Bungie's last shot to prove Sony that they can do their primary function, make a good live service game. Turns out this is not as easy as they thought. Did they succeed or failed? Let's find out. This is Marathon. But before we go into the game, let me tell you about my personal experience with this game. So, February 28, I was working on my Neo 3 and Black Ops 3 review, but actually replaying Assassin's Creed Rogue for 24th time. Then suddenly, through the power of YouTube recommendations, I hear about free multiplayer tests for Marathon. I started thinking about what I will write in this review, but I couldn't play it, because it required PS Plus. Yes, a free multiplayer test requires PS Plus to access it. And that could only mean one thing. This is a premium game. It's fully online premium game that requires your console subscription to play. Of course I will not do that, but I didn't write all of that for nothing, did I? So once again, gameplay hypothesis and YouTube footage is on the screen. So let's jump into the game. Bungie's swan song greets us with a strange and alarming cutscene that talks about the game's lore.
Evaluating vital signs. Evaluating recognition response. Executing neurological subroutine. Passphrase.
My last breath fell quiet like dying embers. My first thought hummed through silver threads.
I would like to address the art style. It is unique. To the point that I am afraid that the art director will be arrested for a possession of illegal substances. After a lore trip, We arrive at the tutorial where we heal, jump into the vent to be the most sus, and escape into the main menu to access the rest of the game. It's time to talk about the game on the face value. It's an extraction shooter. If you don't know what this is, it's a battle royale where you keep all of your items after the game. If you don't know what the battle royale is, then it's basically a looting simulator where you walk on the map, collect items, fight other players and bots to take their loot too. Basically, it's a post-apocalypse simulator, outside of the fact that you can't eat radioactive monsters to replenish your health. Thanks to Escape from Tarkov, this type of mods gained their popularity, with Arc Raiders as a frontrunner. So how does Marathon scale based on that metrics? I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't play any extraction shooter, so I cannot judge the game based on that. But what I think is important to that game is an action intensivity. The game like that work on risk-reward basis. So the more risk you take, the better your reward will be. So that make player to make decisions. Should they risk or not? Should they take a greater challenge to have a bigger reward? And how should they prepare for that challenge? And that's only without players. Players add more chaos and moments into the game like this. So what about Marathon? After watching 30 minutes of gameplay that you see on your screen, I experienced one emotion. Boredom. The game is just not look exciting to watch. I don't want to go and spend my money on it, and that's not me not liking extraction shooters. I understand that side of the game, and I understand that there shouldn't be an instant action starting from the first second. But in Marathon, most of the space are taken by bots. There is almost second to none players, even with free access. And location design makes matters worse. Location is unique but boring, there is no personality here. It looks like free assets from some kind of dev store that they decided to download and use for their game just to save some time. I don't think I will play this game for free. The game looks painfully mediocre to the point of detriment. Some of the time you run in, rest of the time you kill in Call of Duty bots. Where's fun in that? The game needs its own personality. Interesting feature, mechanics. Something to make it stand out from the crowd and make me want to play the actual game. I repeat the thought I said in my high court review. The multiplayer market is oversaturated. There is not enough players to every new release and make every single game a smash hit. You need to work on your game to stand out from the crowd, especially if you want to sell it to the players. Because it's a premium game, you need to pay for the game to play a game that brings nothing new to the table, and abandon your Arc Raiders in favor of this game looks very unlikely to me. Success is usually tracked by a number of factors. Interesting idea, good realization, big marketing campaign, and most importantly, demand from the players. Of course, there is some minor factors like a good community manager, like in the case of Warframe, and ability to finish the game through the hate, like in case of Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky. Marathon don't possess any of them. Usually, most of the original ideas stopped at classics like let's take genre and put a spin on it. This game don't have even that. Realization of the idea, well, because of initial idea is lacking. While writing this line, I cannot even say what the initial idea was, so I looked at the interview with the game director, and turns out the main idea of Marathon was unexpectancy. Like, bots are everywhere, sometimes you encounter other players, there is a moment when you think you didn't make it, but you did make it. The question is how that different from any other extraction shooter will probably be answered somewhere in the comments. I'm gonna lose my mind. Are they really just decided to YOLO it? Like, a guy from Sony comes to the game director and says that they need to make an extraction shooter, and his answer was, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! That would be a good skit. I should spend more time on my 3D animation skill. Well, that's what this game is! A funny skit! I cannot imagine them working on the game day after day, month after month, year after year, without a single thought about making the game unique outside of the strange art style. But based on the interview on the PlayStation blog, that is what really happens. Like, they put their money on the name Bungie and the name Bungie only. I asked that question in my Highguard review. I ask it again. What are they thinking? I know I didn't really talk too much about the game because it's generic. Outside of an art style, it's a basic extraction shooter, and I don't think art style alone will make you buy the game. You've seen enough footages for now, so tell me, do you want to play it for free, buy a full version, or even buy some in-game cosmetics? Well, my answer is no, and a lot of people will agree with me on that. Bungie made their final shot and looks like they missed. Will that statement be correct when we see an actual game? And if it is, how bad the consequences will be, we will see in the near future. The studio's future at stake here, and if they underdeliver, it will make huge consequences. Consequences that Bungie will feel for a very long time. But as Henry Ford once said, the only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. So I hope Sony will finally understand that the game services needs to be played by players, and they present something new, fresh, and...
This is Hunter's Gathering.
Looks like I cannot catch a break. Thank you everyone for watching. If you like the video, boost up the algorithm with a like, or leave a comment if you know what is so original about Marathon. I would like to read it. If you want to see Horizon Hunters Gathering review, then subscribe to this channel. I follow this game so it will not escape my pesky eyes. Well, that's it for me. My name is MadChemist, and transmission.